Yeah, so we are going ahead. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the latest podcast by What Packaging. Today we are extremely fortunate to have Shripad Kurlekar, who is business development at Infinity Automated Solutions. Infinity is based in Pune, where they have a wonderful factory in which they do bundling and wrapping machines. They do automatic pouch baler systems, cartoning machines, case packers, check waiters, inspection systems, conveying solutions. Mr. Kurlekar has about 10 years of experience in the industry, earlier in the automobile space and now in packaging machines. He will talk about Infinity's presence at Anuga FoodTec India and PackX India. So first and foremost, welcome Mr. Kurlekar, and thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you, Mr. Ramu, and thanks to What Packaging, for providing opportunity to Infinity Automated Solutions on this podcast. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Also very curious to know, like a lot of the industry professionals will be listening into this podcast, as well as
hmm,
a lot of brand owners and professionals,
right, right.
as to what is it that Infinity is going to showcase at the Anuga Food Tech and PackX show. If you
Right.
can sort of spotlight that for us, it will be great.
Right. So this year we are, excited to meet all our customers that we have been working in different market segments, from food when it comes to tea, spices, biscuit industry. So our focus since the beginning of our company has been about secondary packaging and tertiary. So these
Right.
systems are being utilized by all the major giants in India, and we strongly believe that there is a big future for secondary packaging. I would say it is still a nurturing segment where
Okay.
people are still curious to understand what level of automation can be achieved in these two segments, right? And that's where Infinity comes in picture, and we play an important role to handle products after the primary packaging, right?
Got it.
For all the brand owners, right from a small pouch, maybe a 5 gram pack, to a 5 kg pack in single pouches or a string. So these
Yes.
innovations, these developments to handle high speed applications after primary, creating secondary packs, big bales of 20 kg bagging solutions, automatic case packers, dynamic checkwares, and conveying solutions is what we intend to showcase at this event. And this is going to be a point of discussions and interest to a lot of companies.
Got it. Yeah. Again, curious to know which would be the segments, because you obviously do, you have products in your
Hmm.
portfolio which cover a lot of segments. There's FMCG, there's also, of course, tea, spices.
Right.
I mean, as somebody has once said that with Infinity, you have Infinity covers, and correct me if I get the statement
Hmm.
out correctly, is that you cover every single item which is on the plate from breakfast to dinner. Would that be correct?
Absolutely. I think it's bang on statement that
Okay.
we have seen ourselves in the past 10 years developing a solutions firstly on the spice segment. Okay,
Got it.
spices was a very first segment that we developed it, and similar attraction was observed in tea industry. So when
Right.
it comes to spices, we have a coverage of 90% of market in India. Similarly, we
Mm.
have a very strong role when we do with tea industries. Biscuit has been a very strong portfolio in the past 3 years, where we work with all the major giants of biscuit manufacturing in India. And
Okay.
when it starts the day of our daily routine, we do tea spices, we do biscuits, we do a lot of staple foods for when it comes to sugar, flour, a lot of staple
Mm.
foods that we do snacks. That's probably we are at the evening of the day. And then we have a lot of experience in dairy industry, milk,
Sure.
ice creams. And this is a very strong segment again at Infinity, where we do a conveying for a lot of dairy companies in India. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
You mentioned spice, and I'm sort of very, very curious to know more, because obviously 90% share means you're obviously doing a lot of things correctly, and of course you're very, very successful.
right.
So I mean, obviously spices are a dynamic sort of world out there, but in
Mhm.
addition to the obvious visual appeal and sensory delight, what is it that the Infinity Solution team is able to do in terms of the innovation of that and the
Mhm.
efficiency in terms of spice packaging? What is it which is lies at the heart of Infinity Automated Solutions?
Right. So just to summarize what you asked. Before a decade, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
talking somewhere in 2014 and 15. Yeah. So all the spice manufacturers, yeah, and not just related to spice, people had the solutions for primary machines, right? People
Correct.
had the technologies. There are a lot of proven, solutions for it. But as and when the time passed, people observed that handling the high speed primary machines, at a speed of 60, 80, and the
Mm,
necessity of creating the secondary packs or the tertiary in front
mm,
of these high speed machines was a challenge, right?
mm.
There was a significant manpower involved.
Right.
There are challenges of labor shortages, right? There are peak seasons where you have to run three shifts, right? And of course streamlining the entire packaging process. So that's how we came in picture, where we help these spice brands to take the products right from the primary machines, create the desired packs that they want for secondary packs, and help them getting their ROIs within a year, streamlining the packaging process, and really to convert a very compact secondary pack that also help them to reduce and control their packaging material cost. Yeah.
Got it.
So
Got it.
that's the role we have been working. And yes, I think that's the success story, I would say.
Got it. Got it. And just for the sake of our viewers, I'll just get a little more specific. When you say secondary
Mm-hmm.
packaging solutions for spice, basically, I think what you mean
Mm-hmm.
is that Infinity is offering pouch bundling and wrapping, and which obviously ensures ease of handling, transportation, some of the things that you alluded to just now, and also pouch shrink wrapping.
Absolutely.
Correct? Pouch shrink wrapping, which are tamper evident,
Yes.
and yeah.
Yes.
Hmm. And
Perfectly. So
right.
what? Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Please
Yes.
carry on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the solutions and the technology that we are giving sort of helps these brand owners to have an end-to-end automation, right? Like the vision of having secondary and tertiary was not at an initial stage, but now when we look where these people have invested in automation, it gives them a complete end-to-end automation, right? I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, I mean they have done the processing of their products, may it be spices, tea, or biscuits. They have their primary machines. Now they have the secondary machines, you know
Correct. Correct.
right? They have the secondary machines where there are no manpower involved, so that also gives them the leverage of no touch on the products,
Hmm.
no man touch on the products. Yeah. We help them in the tertiary packaging, may it be a case or a bagging, that automation we do. And then we do a
Nice.
conveying which gives them to the warehouse. So the vision is that the end user is going to touch the product now, right? Rather than
Yes.
it passing through multiple channels of manual processing, and giving it to co-packers, giving it to third parties, transferring it to another warehouses. Rather than they do it at their factory at just one button and get the entire process automated.
Got it. Got it. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's quite a lot. I mean, again, just requesting you. I mean, we are familiar with Infinity, being on the
Hmm.
horizon. I
Hmm.
mean, and on, occupying
Hmm.
the packaging landscape for the last decade. You're based in Pune. You offer secondary packaging solutions. You do you do sachet handling. You do material conveying systems. If you can just give us
Right.
a sense about what kind of manufacturing clout and manufacturing muscle you have, and
Hmm.
obviously, this is all backed by, a wonderful team of, technical people, engineers who are, creating the blueprints and the master plan to create this machine. So if you can give us a little peek into what Infinity's factory in Pune does.
Right. So we started the journey in 2015, and as I said, the vision and the intention of the company was clear, that we wanted to focus in this opportunity of secondary packaging automation. And we had an initial base where we developed only single pouches handling solutions. But now we have a big scale. Last year we expanded. We have an area of 30,000 square feet, where we have a team of more than 100 people. The managing director of the company is Mr. Amit Kataria, who is a technocrat, has an experience of
Nice.
more than 30 years. Yeah. and
Most of
we
it.
have a solid team. I know whenever we have discussions in our annual review meeting, one tagline or one segment that better defines Infinity is we are a design oriented company. Yeah, all
Okay.
the
Okay.
projects, all the
Mm.
innovations that we have over the years, where we work with major brands in India, is because of the design innovations that we have been doing over the years. Okay, we
Mm.
handle single pouches in the last 3 years. We handled products with strings of applications. Typically in industry they call this luddy. So
Correct.
we are doing this a lot. Very rare companies in India do. And we have not only done in spices, we have done in tea. We are doing now with diaper sections. We are doing this in textiles. We are doing this in biscuits. So yeah, that's the base of Infinity. And we have been growing. We have more than 500 installations in India till now. And
Mm.
and this year it is more about an international expansion. We are putting up our base in Thailand and some part of Philippines also.
Sure, sure. So, and just a quick follow-up question, Mr. Kurlekar. You mentioned that design is at the center of a lot of what Infinity does, and your tagline also says innovation is our passion. Just a couple of quick questions about this. Is that does this mean that every technology solution that you are
Hmm.
installing is
Hmm.
customizable based on what the factory of your customer desires, and also based on the vertical that you're operating in? Because obviously, from whatever little you've shared with us thus far,
Hmm.
it's quite clear
Hmm.
that almost every segment seems to have its pulls and pushes, its own sort of ramification in terms of how the product is, how the product needs to be, ultimately shipped and finally reaches the end customer. So, what is the extent
Hmm.
of customization that is required these days? And more importantly, what do you do at that level in terms of the tech support and the hand holding that Infinities offers?
Hmm. I think that's really a good question, and because this is something we come across every day with our customers. So to answer your question correctly, 60% is our, I would say, proven solutions and technology, right? But it is always, adapted with a little innovation towards every project demands, right? Now,
Nice.
if I have to divide our technology in two major segments. When I say secondary packaging, right? This has been more or less a proven application in the industry, where we do packs from 50 grams, 200 grams, and 1 kg, right? But when it comes to tertiary packaging, there is a lot of desire, I would say, of the customers to extend it to the next level. That's where a little innovation, or that's where a little development comes in picture, right? just
Got
to
it.
just to give a few case study, we did a very big project in India, yeah, for pet foods. And the customer,
Okay.
it was a big success. We did single pouches, and then the customer gave us a challenge to handle a string of packs. We did that. And then it was a lot of development that had come in place. But yes, we do 60 to 70% is our proven, and 30% is a little development or customization that every project demands. We go through the entire project, designing stage, and then we ensure that we meet the customer's expectation. Yeah, so it's 70/30. Yeah, to answer your question.
Nice, nice, very, very nice. And just finally,
Yeah.
a question. I mean, since your designation
Mm-hmm.
says business development, you're
Mm-hmm.
obviously in touch with lots and lots of customers, both prospective and those who are, of course, converted into sale. Again,
Mm-hmm.
just curious, because I mean, there are lots and lots of trends that we are hearing about what's transpiring in the various sectors that we have touched upon.
Mm-hmm.
Curious to know from you what kind of conversations that you're having with your customers, and what's the sort of demand cycle looking like? What are the challenges that you're typically hearing, and
Mm-hmm.
lessons that you have learned or Infinity has learned, which you are working on, which is what
Right.
makes you a success story?
Right. So I think one, there are few pointers that I would like to address here, because this is we came across, when we discuss with the project people. One is about handling too many variants in one production cycle, because when we
Mm,
go to the
nice.
biscuits, when we go to the snacks industries, yeah, there are so many flavors or variants, right? And then
Yeah.
there are variants in the
Many,
craft.
many SKUs. Yeah, many, many SKUs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so the customer has certain plans, of course, when it comes to the production, but at the same time they intend to do it with minimalistic time and with the minimal changeovers. Yeah, so this is
Sure.
something we have been addressing over the couple of years, and we are still into that stage where we could meet the customer's expectation with minimal short changeover cycle and meet the production demand. Yeah, so this is something is always a point of discussion. May it be food, may it be cosmetics, or may it be textiles. This is something is always a point of interaction, and it helps us also to know what's the upcoming challenges in the industry. And second is, of course, there is a lot of trend in the laminate sections that we have been working. Yeah, so when it comes to
Nice.
our packaging applications, of different foods, different perishable segments, different regions, and different laminates to conclude it on, right? there
Right.
is there is where we are talking about LD, we are talking about HMLD, and we are talking about PP bags, we are talking about cartons when it comes to 3 ply, 5 ply. So yeah, so this is something that we had to sort of evolve our technologies around. And it's very glad for me to say that our 90% of our technologies or machines are able to cater the materials that the customers are producing or looking forward to get manufactured in their plants. Yeah,
Got
so
it.
we are not limited. It's a very open segment that whatever the customers are demanding, may it be laminate or cartons, our
Hmm.
systems at Infinity are flexible to accommodate their requirements.
Got it. Got it. No, lots and lots of fine tuning, in terms of the nuts and bolts that so that you align completely with what your customers, final.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, no, no.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, I could go on with this conversation. It's very, very
yeah.
fascinating. But I think
Absolutely.
for the sake of time, we'll conclude. Just polite question. Any final message for the industry? And if anybody who's interested to fix appointments with members of the Infinity Automated Solutions, who should they contact? Who will be the key personnel at your stall? And any message that you have for them in terms of inviting them to come to visit your stall.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a flyer invitation which I'll be sharing, with the contact details,
Right.
and a message for the industry is absolutely, yeah. As we move in 2024, we encourage the industry to embrace innovation and sustainability, because the future of packaging lies in adopting technologies where we enhance the efficiency, right, while minimizing the environmental impact. Yeah,
Hmm.
so the collaboration and continuous improvement are the keys, I would say, to overcome the challenges and meet the evolving demands of the consumer. So let's put it in this way, that we all should work together to drive the industry forward with efficient and intelligent packaging solutions.
Makes absolute sense. Makes absolute
Yeah,
sense. Thank you very much, Shripad Kurlekar. The What Packaging team will definitely be meeting you at your stall at Anuga
absolutely.
FoodTec India and PackX, which is hosted from 28th to 30th of August in Mumbai. In
Hmm.
addition to visiting your stall, I'll also be picking up a lot of packaging samples, especially tea and biscuits
Absolutely.
and spices. I'm looking forward to having a look at that.
Absolutely,
And
Mr.
yeah, yeah. And thank you. I hope this conversation benefits all visitors and potential customers of Infinity Automated Solutions. And I
Mhm.
also hope the conversation gives you a superior understanding about what this Pune based manufacturer is doing and is a proud example of Make in India today. Thank you. And over and out from What Packaging.
Thank you, Mr. Ramu. Yeah, thank you, team. Bye.